You're welcome to the part 2 of the lecture on spiritual warfare, dealing with the internal factor. This is the voice of Prince Victor Matthew, and I want you to understand that internal factor. In the previous lecture, we dealt with internal factor as the devil influencing you against yourself. So this training, we will be talking about how the devil can influence your loved ones against you. Is very, very important. Underline the word influence. Internal factor is the kingdom of darkness influencing your loved ones against you. The devil can use your husband against you. The devil can use your wife against you. The devil can use your mother against you. The devil can use your brother against you. Can use, your in-laws against you. It's very possible. There was even a time the devil wanted to use. The devil used Peter against Jesus, by telling Peter that, Peter said to Jesus, "No, you're not going to die." He said, "Get behind me, Satan." So attack can come in the form of love. It was out of love. Peter thought it was out of love. But he didn't know that the devil was using him against Jesus. There are many people, you have frustrated your loved one. You thought you were loving them. You thought you were helping them. But you never knew the devil was influencing you against them. You'll learn a lot from this training. That's why, as children of God, we must be careful. We must be led by the Spirit of God for anything you do, even though you are relating with your spouse or your children or your siblings. First is advice. The devil can use the advice of your loved ones against you, prompting in them naturally to bring up an advice that will take you outside the agenda of God. Oh yes. And that's why you must be very careful to pray and deal with every advice in the place of prayer. Either it's coming from your spouse, it's coming from your mother, it's coming from your brother, it's coming from your pastor, it's coming from a prophet. Deal with it in the place of prayer and be sure this is what God wants you to do. Another thing the devil can use against you is making people to help you in a direction that will frustrate your calling and your agenda in life. Many marriages are broken out of advice. Many ladies, many men have lost their destiny because they were helped in the wrong way. Help can bring you to the place of destruction. That is why it's not every help anyone your loved one renders to you accept. You must pray to be sure this is what God wants. Opportunities, you need to be very careful. Every opportunity is not from God. Even though it's coming from your loved ones, even though it's coming from your spouse, you must be sure that this is what God wants you to do. This is not to make you to be suspicious, but this is to make you to be sensitive to the Lord, to ask the Lord about anything and everything, no matter how close the person is to you. You must be led by the Spirit of God if you are ready to engage in spiritual warfare. And of course, there are people that the devil know that if this person has money, if this person is helped financially, and in other areas, they will achieve the calling of God for their life, quickly. So they will make their loved ones to make excuses even when they should help. They'll find one reason or the other. Naturally, they don't know why, but they don't even give. That is the devil using. Because, of course, your destiny helpers are within your loved ones. So the devil will discourage them, use gossip, manipulation in any dimension. Another thing the devil can use against you is the expectations of your parents, the expectations of your siblings. Okay? And that is it. Maybe your parents expecting you to marry to a tall girl. Your parents are expecting you to marry to a lady that is not tall, a lady that is from a certain culture, a certain nation. Your mom expecting you, to be a doctor, being a nurse. Expectations of parents, they are not negative. They are things they really desire for you out of love. But is it in alignment with what God wants to do in your life? That's the point. Parents, be careful. Siblings, be careful. Spouse, be careful of what you expect from your loved ones. Are you sure you are in the agenda of God? because these are the things that will create hindrances. One of the ways the devil can use your loved ones against you is by them becoming greedy, becoming offended over nothing, always spoiling the chances of you growing or becoming who God wants you to be. Even if I can even discourage your spouse that you are not the right person. Your fears, the fears of your loved ones. Either you're a parent, your spouse, your siblings, hear me. Don't impose your fear on the people around you. The devil can use your fear to fight the people around you. So the fears of your loved ones is very important. Maybe they're afraid they don't want you to fail in marriage. They're afraid they don't want you to fail in school. They're afraid of this. So because of that, they now put up an attitude towards you that becomes an hindrance to what God wants you to do. Their worries, their doubt. You are afraid that that your son will get married to the wrong woman. You are afraid your daughter will get married to the wrong man. You are afraid, you are afraid your daughter will become pregnant. A lot of things. See, all these things are the instrument the devil can use. Please be careful. Be careful on how you handle these things. No matter what you get from anyone, including me that is teaching you, deal with it in the place of prayer and be sure it's in alignment with the agenda of God for your life. Love can also be an hindrance and a tool the devil will use to fight against you. God bless you.